Forecasts are often required to produce and manage budgets. Forecast data are information used for the purposes of planning for the future. Forecasts can be short range, intermediate range, or long range. Forecasting expenses and revenue are important tasks in financial management. For example, in order to establish a budget for processing septic tank applications, a forecast of staff, travel, and other expenses, as well as a projection of septic tank revenue, is needed. Let's take a look at an example using septic tank applications and fees. Financial managers in public health often need to forecast revenue and expenses. In the last section, we noted in our trend analysis that Region B septic tank applications are decreasing as housing starts to decrease. Since about 1/2 of environmental health revenue is earned from fees like septic tank applications, projecting the number of applications for fiscal year 2009 is an important step in projecting the revenue to be earned in fiscal year 2009. Let's take a look at the chart. In this case, we have noticed the decreasing trend of applications, and we have data from the first quarter of 2009 showing that there were 213 applications in that quarter. Since a quarter is 1/4 of a year and applications are on the decline, expecting a quarterly average of 200 and 800 per year seems reasonable. To complete the revenue projection, multiplying 800 projected applications by the $150 fee results in a projected amount of $120,000 for fiscal year 2009. Using common sizing and trend analysis, if the projection is on target, we should expect an 11% decrease in revenue for fiscal year 2009. Now it's your turn. Let's take a look at Region C's septic tank applications for 2008. In this case, we've noticed the increasing trend of applications, and we have data from the first quarter of 2009 showing that there were 400 applications in that quarter. How many applications are projected for 2009? How much revenue will be generated if these projections are true? Since we know that the first quarter of 2009 had 400 applications, we can multiply this number by 4. This is the projection for applications for 2009, 1,600. If we multiply the projection by the application fee, we can see that the projected revenue for 2009 will be $320,000. Using common sizing and trend analysis, if the projection is on target, we should expect a 62.5% increase in revenue for fiscal year 2009. You may remember from the last section that Region B's travel budget was $30,000. This chart displays actual travel expenses for 8 months. You may note that, as is usually the case, the expenses vary from month to month. Expenses tend to be more stable when viewed as a quarter because of monthly seasonal variations, in this case due to less travel due to holidays or vacation days. Let's consider the need to know whether or not the region is on target with expenses planned in the budget. One way to do this is by common sizing, or converting the actual monthly expense to a percentage of the planned expense. 1 month worth of planned travel is $2,500. As you can see, the region is on target for 1 month, over for 4 months, and under for 3 months. Since these variations are seasonal rather than due to a trend in the need for travel, a better method is to project the expenses for a year using the current rate of expenditure. Since we have expenses for 8 months, to project the expense for 12 months, add the July through February expense to obtain the total expense for 8 months. Now it's your turn. Let's take a look at Region C's travel expenses. What are Region C's projected travel expenses over 12 months? What is the total? To obtain the average expense per month, divide the total expenditures by 8 months. To project annual expense, multiply the average monthly expense by 12. $30,600 divided by 8 equals $3,000